All right, listen up. Welcome to the place where future millionaires are made. Today, I'm going to hit you with the truth about wealth, because honestly, it's not what most people think. You know all those rules for success you've been taught? High education, big income, working for a top company? Forget 'em. That's not the real answer to true wealth. What you actually need for financial success isn't about how smart you are or what degree you have. It's all about your psychology and your actions. That's the brutal truth we're talking about today. We're going to dive into the core ideas from Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money. This book, published in 2020, became a worldwide bestseller, and for good reason. It's not just another book about investing or finance. It focuses on our psychology and behavior when it comes to money. It's all about how our human side is more important than numbers or calculations. The principles in this book can seriously change your life if you're looking to break out of your current situation and gain financial freedom. So, let's dig into the psychology of wealth and freedom. The janitor who became a millionaire. Let me tell you about Ronald Reed, a janitor who didn't earn much and didn't have any special education. But when he died at 92, guess what he left behind? $8 million. No lottery, no inheritance. He just saved a little bit every day, invested it in stocks, and waited 40 years. He lived a simple life, and nobody around him even knew he was a millionaire. His wealth was built on invisible accumulation. Now, compare that to some high-earning elites. You see people making $200,000 a year who go bankrupt. It's not a lack of intelligence. It's often arrogance and ego. They chase short-term gains and spend a ton trying to impress others. What does this comparison teach us? That when it comes to money, actions and psychology are far more important than knowledge or intelligence. Financial success isn't about complicated math or theories. It's a human problem of psychology and behavior. Mr. Reed's story flips common sense on its head. The idea that only high-paying, glamorous jobs lead to wealth is just wrong. If you're feeling stuck in a low-income job right now, have hope. The most important elements for building wealth, saving and investing for the long term, are completely within your control, regardless of your current job or income. It's not about your title. It's about your daily habits. Understanding your money mindset, our relationship with money, is heavily influenced by our emotions and past experiences. Fear, greed, envy, pride, these things can cloud our judgment and affect our financial decisions. So the first step to mastering money isn't understanding complex financial products, it's understanding your own psychology. What are you struggling with right now? Low pay? Can't save money? Worried about the future? Unhappy with your job? Feeling undervalued? Stuck in a bad work environment? Stressed by relationships? Feeling stuck in your career? Do you want to break out of your current situation? Do you have a strong desire to achieve something? Average people just complain. Winners create strategies to change their reality. The principles in The Psychology of Money aren't just about making money. They're powerful tools to tackle these challenges and break free. The book's core value is about the freedom to control your own time and life. This is the feeling you're vaguely searching for, and it's key to true wealth. Dissatisfaction with work or the desire for early retirement often points to something deeper than just wanting a bigger paycheck. It's a deep craving for autonomy and meaning that modern work environments often can't provide. People don't want money itself. They want the choices and control that money offers. They want the right to live life on their own terms. The psychology of money positions financial independence as the means to achieve this desired autonomy, elevating the pursuit of wealth from a mere financial goal to a deeper purpose of self-realization and reclaiming control over your life. Nobody's crazy. This is one of Housel's most important insights. Nobody's crazy. What looks like an irrational financial decision to others might make perfect sense based on that person's individual experiences. Your upbringing, your generation, the tiny sliver of the world you've seen. These things shape your judgment. Our personal experiences are just a tiny fraction of what's happened in the world, but they form most of our understanding of how the world works. Someone who grew up poor will see risk differently. Someone who grew up wealthy and never worried about money will have completely different values. Generations who experienced the dot-com bubble burst will have different money perspectives than those who grew up in calmer economic times. Think about your own background. How did your family handle money? What have your personal experiences with financial success or failure been like? Have you thought about how these affect your current beliefs and actions? You also need to be careful with advice from parents, friends, or even YouTubers. Their advice is filtered through their unique experiences, so it might not apply to you. Don't blindly copy other people's success stories or strategies. They likely won't fit you. Understanding this personal experience bias is crucial. Don't feel inferior if your money sense differs from the norm. It helps you have empathy for yourself and allows you to create strategies aligned with your own goals rather than chasing inappropriate external standards. People often seek external validation, but it's important to acknowledge and respect your own unique perspective. That's the approach that's most likely to be sustainable and successful in the long run. Luck and risk, success and failure are rarely 100% due to individual effort. Luck and risk are always present. They're powerful forces that impact every outcome in life. It's important to recognize that things are rarely as good or as bad as they seem. Even someone like Bill Gates' success involved a lot of luck, like being in the US during the early days of the computer age and having the opportunity to go to college. Many talented people with the same skills wouldn't have achieved the same success if the times or circumstances were different. It's not uncommon for people with similar skills to be on opposite ends of luck and risk. Consider the impact of something like a natural disaster. One single event can change economic policies, affect real estate markets, and alter countless lives. Unpredictable, extreme events can have far-reaching consequences. There's an important principle to learn from this. When you succeed, acknowledge the role of luck. Arrogance is a common reason successful people fail. Be cautious when things are going well. When you fail, acknowledge that external factors played a role too. Don't be too hard on yourself. See failures as opportunities to learn. Don't just focus on extreme individual success or failure stories. Learn from broader patterns. Special cases are often too unique to apply to other situations. The most important thing is to survive. Avoid any risks that could wipe you out permanently. Overconfidence can increase this risk. Always consider the possibility that things won't go as planned. You should assume that future returns might be lower than past averages. This durability is what allows you to withstand market fluctuations and continue investing for the long term, which is key to harnessing the magic of compounding. Emphasizing survival and avoiding ruin is vital. This is especially true for young men who are eager for quick success. Don't fall for get-rich-quick temptations. Shift your focus from maximizing potential gains to ensuring your long-term participation in the wealth-building process. This cautious yet optimistic approach is valuable. It reduces anxiety about market volatility, especially for those starting with limited capital, and helps prevent catastrophic mistakes that could permanently derail financial goals. Risk management should be redefined not just as a defensive measure, but as an essential offensive component in long-term wealth building. Average people are captivated by short-term gains. Winners prioritize survival. Which will you be? Rich versus wealthy? Know the difference between being rich and being wealthy. Being rich often means a high income and visible spending. Being wealthy means having accumulated assets that are often invisible, providing freedom and choices. This distinction is crucial. True wealth is the money you didn't spend. It's the luxury car you didn't buy, the watch you didn't wear, the first-class ticket you didn't purchase. People often buy expensive things to gain respect or admiration from others. Fancy apartments, cars, designer watches. But unfortunately, while people might admire the object itself, they rarely admire the owner. This is the man in the car paradox. You might think, that's a cool car, but not necessarily that person driving is cool. This kind of spending undermines your potential to build wealth. The endless comparison game is a fruitless one that can never be won. Many truly wealthy people live surprisingly simple lives. Ronald Read, as mentioned, is an example. Tadashi Yanai, the founder of Uniqlo, is said to have a modest home. Soichiro Honda, the founder of Honda, was also known for his simple lifestyle, even after achieving great success. They prioritized accumulating assets over flaunting status. They understood the principle of being rich inside, modest outside. There's an old saying, the nail that sticks out gets hammered down, which teaches us the danger of showing off. Resist the urge to spend to impress others. That creates money you can save and invest. True respect comes from character, not expensive possessions. Qualities like kindness and humility earn real respect. Build invisible wealth, and you can achieve visible freedom. In today's social media age, this is particularly dangerous. The pressure to project success through consumption is immense, potentially impacting the self-worth and financial goals of young and middle-aged men. Recognizing the man in the car paradox and examples of modest billionaires can just serve as a psychological shield. It allows you to consciously opt out of the status game, reducing the pressure to consume and shifting your focus to the goal of freedom and the actions needed to build true wealth. Average people are captivated by superficial luxury. Winners accumulate invisible assets. Which will you choose? The power of your savings rate. What's the most important and controllable factor in building wealth? It's your savings rate, even more than your income or investment returns. You can build wealth even with a low income, but it's nearly impossible to build wealth without a high savings rate. Here's the most important equation. Savings equals income. Ego. Beware of lifestyle inflation, which is when your spending increases as your income grows. Resisting the urge to spend more as you earn more is key. Wealth is born by curbing today's desires to gain more choices tomorrow. Housel has a unique suggestion. Save simply for the sake of saving, without a specific purchase goal. This savings without a purpose has many benefits. It prepares you for life's unexpected events, job loss, illness, unforeseen opportunities. It provides flexibility, choices, and control, which is essentially buying freedom. It also buys peace of mind, allowing you to sleep soundly. Focus on widening the gap between your income and expenses. Live within your means. That's the basic rule. Automate your savings. Practice the pay yourself first strategy. Understand that frugality isn't deprivation, it's optimization for future freedom. Many wealthy people operate on strict budgets. If you reframe saving as income and ego and aim to invest at least 15% of your income, it can change your mindset. This directly addresses the psychological barrier that links spending to status or self-worth. If you're unhappy with your current job, redefine the meaning of saving. See it not as deprivation, but as an act of buying your future freedom. Then it transforms from a chore into an act of rebellion, a powerful rebellion against your current constraints. Saving is the concrete first step toward the breakthrough you desire. Saving without a specific purchase goal is even more effective, as the goal itself is flexibility and control. Adopting a high savings rate is empowering. It's actively beginning to build the future life you desire. The magic of compounding. Compounding is the engine of wealth growth, but it needs a significant amount of time to work its magic. Even small, consistent contributions can lead to amazing results, growing exponentially over decades. Money makes money, and that money makes more money. This cycle creates a huge difference over time. Warren Buffett's wealth came late. Of his $84.5 billion, $81.5 billion came after he turned 65. What was his superpower? It wasn't just brilliant stock picking, it was his unbelievably long time horizon. Consistently investing for 80 years was the secret. Time is your greatest weapon. The temptation to get rich quickly is strong, but resisting it is crucial. The stock market is a wealth transfer machine. It moves money from the impatient to the patient. A long-term perspective is essential. Think in terms of 10, 20, 30+ years. Don't try to time the market. That's a fool's strategy. Clearly understand the difference between compounding and simple returns. Reinvesting returns is key to exponential growth. Don't spend your profits immediately. Also, understand the destructive power of reverse compounding, like credit card debt, which can spiral out of control. Start investing as early as you can, even if it's small amounts. Be consistent and focus on time in the market, not timing the market. Develop the mental toughness to ride out market ups and downs. Patience and self-discipline are needed. The patience to hold on during downturns is key to success. The concept of compounding is particularly potent for younger generations, as it can combat present bias, the tendency to prioritize immediate gratification over larger future rewards. Buffett's example of accelerated wealth in his later life is compelling, making the abstract power of long-term compounding concrete and appealing. This helps future rewards appear larger and more certain, aiding in overcoming present bias. Therefore, Patience isn't just a virtue, it's an active ingredient necessary to unlock this exponential growth. A long-term strategy feels more purposeful and motivation will increase. Average people seek instant gratification. Winners know how to wait. Which are you? Knowing enough. What's the hardest financial skill? It's not moving the goalposts. Define what enough means for you, rather than comparing yourself to others. Social comparison is a path to unhappiness. There's always someone wealthier. What happens if you constantly chase more just because others have it? Your ambition will outpace your satisfaction. You'll always feel like you're falling behind. This is a dangerous state, as it can lead you to jeopardize what you already have by taking unnecessary risks. A good example is Yoshiaki Murakami of the Murakami Fund. He achieved great success, but he didn't have a sense of enough. What happened? He was arrested for insider trading and lost everything. Focus on your own goals and values. Enough is relative to your needs. Be wary of envy triggered by external pressures and watch out for lifestyle creep. Avoiding these is crucial. Contentment is a powerful defense. It protects you from foolish decisions driven by greed or envy. It cultivates gratitude for what you have and allows you to focus on the non-monetary aspects of life. This is also a crucial element in maintaining wealth. If you feel like you don't have enough, work on defining enough. If you're trying to catch up, reconsider who you're chasing. This concept brings about a fundamental shift in perspective where the locus of control moves from external to internal. Goals set by social comparison are dangerous. Don't chase constantly shifting external goals. Instead, define your own finish line based on your personal values and desired lifestyle, specifically focusing on the freedom you desire. This reduces anxiety, makes financial goals achievable, and paradoxically increases long-term happiness by decoupling it from infinite accumulation. Average people chase others' goals. Winners set their own goals. Which will you choose? Be reasonable, not perfectly rational. Aim to be reasonable rather than perfectly rational. Make financial decisions you can stick with in the long term, even if they're not theoretically optimal, because consistency is what matters most. Prioritize being able to sleep soundly at night. Market fluctuations are unavoidable and come with uncertainty. But understand that these aren't penalties. They're the admission fee for long-term returns. Trying to get returns without volatility is impossible. It's like trying to steal. Be prepared to pay that fee happily. You don't need complex strategies. Most fund managers underperform the market average, which is why low-cost index funds are recommended for most people. Focus on long-term holding. Don't fret over individual investments. Judge performance by your overall portfolio and whether it's achieving your long-term goals. Allow some investments to fail. As long as your winners significantly outperform your losers, you can be right half the time and still succeed. Be careful with advice from others. People playing a different game won't be helpful. Don't accept financial tips from people with different time horizons, risk tolerances, or goals. Adjust your approach to your own needs and temperament. The reasonable versus rational framework is valuable. It validates the emotional side of investing and is empowering for those new to it or overwhelmed by complexity. Avoid strategies that are theoretically perfect but psychologically unbearable. It's crucial to find a strategy that aligns with your emotional comfort and is sustainable allowing you to stick to your plan even during market downturns. This is critically important for long-term success. Emotional sustainability enables long-term consistency, which is the key to unlocking the benefits of compounding. This is why a reasonable approach is more effective than a rational one. A practiced, reasonable approach ultimately yields better results than an abandoned, rational approach. Average people seek theoretical perfection. Winners choose sustainable practices. What will you do? The greatest value of money: control over your time. What's the greatest value money offers? It's the ability to control your own time. This freedom is huge. It means being able to do what you want, when you want, with whom you want. This freedom is a more reliable source of happiness than material possessions. It's the ability to wake up in the morning and say, I can do whatever I want today. It's having choices, having flexibility, and being able to wait for opportunities without being forced into bad decisions. It's having the leeway to ride out hard times. It's about using money to regain control of your life. Do you want to escape the 9-to-5 grind? Are you unhappy with your current job? Are you interested in early retirement? These desires are at the core of the FIRE movement. Financial independence isn't about not working. It's about having the choice to work on your own terms, on what you value. Reframe it that way. Many people make a dangerous trade-off. They give up freedom for visible consumption. They exchange potential freedom for status symbols. They chase higher incomes in jobs they hate, losing control of their time. Recognize this trade-off. It's important to consciously prioritize time and freedom. Think of control over your time as the ultimate financial goal. This reframes the entire wealth-building journey. It's no longer just about accumulating numbers. It's about accumulating autonomy. This is particularly meaningful for those feeling powerless. If you feel powerless in your current job or life, change is needed. Every dollar saved or invested becomes a tangible step toward reclaiming that autonomy, which is more effective than simply chasing wealth itself. The process itself becomes more motivating, connecting financial discipline directly to higher psychological needs. Average people chase material wealth. Winners buy true wealth. Time. What do you want to buy? Overcoming the status quo bias. Why do people stay in unsatisfactory situations? Because of the status quo bias. There are many reasons for this. A strong desire to avoid loss, the comfort of familiarity, paralysis from too many choices, the psychological cost of past investments, time, effort, money, and the desire to avoid contradicting their own beliefs and actions. Generational anxieties also reinforce this bias. We see the quarter-life crisis in people in their late 20s and early 30s and the midlife crisis around 40. These specific anxieties can strengthen the status quo bias. The power of savings is immense. Having freedom money, or simply a safety net, creates a foundation for change. It provides the psychological and practical basis for making changes. It increases your options. It makes changing jobs realistic. It allows you to take entrepreneurial risks. Long vacations become possible. Money provides a margin of error, a cushion needed to attempt to break out of the status quo. To overcome the status quo bias first, recognize when you're falling prey to it. Make a habit of regularly reviewing your choices. Have a clear vision of what breaking out of the status quo means for you, what kind of environment you desire. It's also important to start small. What's the smallest step you can take first? Avoid extreme plans initially. Progress incrementally. Don't be afraid of small failures. They're necessary steps towards success. See them as learning opportunities and be willing to learn from mistakes. Talking to others and getting feedback can also be helpful. When challenging the status quo at work, start with questions, as they're often more effective than assertions. Focus on what you can control. Instead of trying to change others' actions or external circumstances, concentrate on changing your own action. Many people have successfully changed their situations. Learn from fire achievers and general success stories. A common thread among them is financial preparation, which plays a huge role. The journey from feeling stuck to breaking out of the status quo is psychological. It mirrors the journey from financial dependence to independence. Apply the principles from this book. Increase savings for flexibility, learn risk management, and adopt a long-term perspective. You're not just building wealth. You're building the strength to overcome psychological barriers like status quo bias and fear of failure. Financial progress cultivates psychological resilience, fostering the strength needed for life's changes. It leads to financial empowerment. Average people complain, but stay stuck. Winners take action and create change. Which will you be? Key takeaways and action steps. Let's recap the core teachings from the psychology of money that we've covered. Behavior over intelligence. It's often hidden. Save actively. Remember the equation. Income. Ego. Harness compounding. Patience is key. Define your enough. Don't move the goalposts. Invest reasonably. Choose an investment method that helps you sleep at night. Prioritize freedom. Aim to buy your time back. Manage risk. Survival comes first. Embrace humility and forgiveness. Knowledge alone isn't enough. Consistent action based on these principles is what brings results. This directly connects to your desire for self-improvement and practical methods. Start by re-evaluating your savings rate. This is more important than income or returns. Don't forget the equation. Savings equals income. Ego. Aim to save and invest at least 15% of your income. Automate your savings. Curb lifestyle inflation. It's also crucial to leverage the power of compounding. Remember, that time is your greatest weapon. Long-term patience is essential. Start investing as early as possible and stay consistent. Don't try to time the market. Reinvest your returns, and don't forget to define enough. Fix your goalposts. Stop comparing yourself to others. Set financial goals based on your own values, especially the amount you need to gain freedom. Strive to invest reasonably. Sustainable is more important than perfectly rational. Prioritize being able to sleep soundly at night. Consider simple low-cost strategies. Index funds are a good option. View volatility as an admission fee. Judge by your overall portfolio. Manage risk and prioritize survival. Avoid ruinous risks. Have a margin of safety. Avoid excessive debt. Diversify your investments. Keep cash for unexpected events. Purposeless saving helps here. Aim to buy time. Money's greatest value is control over your time. Prioritize freedom over consumption. Financial independence is a means to expand life choices. And finally, have humility and forgiveness. Recognize the role of luck and risk. Don't show off. Don't get arrogant when you succeed. Don't beat yourself up when you fail. Don't flaunt your wealth. I ask you, are you going to continue living your life the same way, or are you going to make a change? Reject social pressures. Control your own financial psychology. Consistently apply these strategies. Build a life defined by freedom and purpose, not obligation. The important thing is your power. Don't forget that you have the power to change your own trajectory starting today. It's possible to become a modest millionaire like Ronald Read. You can live a life full of freedom and choices. It's in your hands. The path to wealth and freedom isn't complicated. It's not in complex financial products or advanced investment techniques. It's in your own mind, in your daily choices. Average people just dream of change while repeating the same actions. Winners make slightly different choices every day. Start carving out your future with consistent action today. The insights from the psychology of money are profound. Financial success is a deeply human endeavor beyond mere numbers and calculations. The ability to build and maintain wealth is more about self-awareness, consistent action, and emotional control than advanced financial knowledge. Ronald Read's example of a millionaire who lived a simple life is fascinating proof that you can build wealth without high income or social status. It's possible with disciplined saving, long-term investing, and the patience to trust the power of compounding. Amazing wealth creation is possible. This gives hope to anyone feeling stuck and provides concrete action steps for those seeking a breakthrough. The key is control. Don't be swayed by external factors you can't control, like the economy or market sentiment. Focus on the actions you can control. Increase your savings rate, continue investing, and control your spending. The principles in this book aren't just about making money. They're about how to resist external pressures like showing off and social comparison. They teach you how to know enough based on your own values. They provide a framework for prioritizing peace of mind in financial decisions. And ultimately, they reveal the greatest value money brings: freedom. The freedom to use your time as you wish and take control of your life. This craving for freedom is common to many, and it's a strong motivator, especially for men in their 20s to 40s, who are often dissatisfied with work or interested in early retirement. Financial independence is more than just liberation from labor. It's the power to choose your life on your own terms and to build a foundation for spending time on meaningful activities. So what is the true wealth mindset? It's not just about having a lot of money. It's about cultivating a healthy psychological relationship with money, having a long-term perspective, maintaining disciplined actions, and ultimately using money wisely as a tool to create a richer, freer life. If you understand and apply the principles we've discussed today, anyone can change. You can achieve not just financial stability, but greater control and satisfaction in life. The path isn't complex market analysis. It's in self-understanding and daily choices. Average people just dream. Winners start acting today. Thanks for sticking with me to the end today. I'll see you in the next video.